Hi guys, I bring you warm greetings. Welcome to episode 18 of Harry's Musings. Please find and follow me on my social media handles if you haven't. Today we are bringing our light on secularism in Nigeria. Sometime last year I was part of a dialogue forum on interfaith relations, and part of the submission some of us made was that one of the key factors to ensuring a harmonious coexistence between adherents of different faiths and even those who decide not to affiliate with any religion is to redefine our secular state as a nation. However, the body language of the religious scholars in attendance was quite discouraging. Each time the word secular was mentioned, they would quickly object, even when we tried to explain that according to the law, Nigeria is indeed a secular nation. That encounter made me realize that a lot of people mistake secularism for total removal of religion from our lives. Regarding secularism, the 1999 Constitution states in Article 15 of Chapter 2 that national integration shall be actively encouraged, whilst discrimination on the grounds of place of origin, gender, religion, status, ethnic or linguistic association shall be prohibited. But is the spirit of the Constitution considerably adhered to in terms of this secular provision? The term secularism itself is also contested. The precise nature of the secular and religious spheres of life is subject to interpretation, and secularism in practice can manifest in a number of ways. This ranges from exclusivist form of secularism in countries such as the United States of America and France to inclusive secularism in the case of countries like India. Supporters of the role of religion in public life maintain that religion provides a range of valuable public goods and gives individuals a sense of meaning and identity. As such, they argue that efforts to keep religion out of the public sphere are undemocratic and therefore lacking in tolerance for different worldviews. Secularists, on the other hand, claim that the separation of religion from state provides the best framework for upholding the rights and freedoms of all citizens, regardless of their religious belief or lack of one, on the scale of equality, fairness, and justice. As different religions tend to have conflicting beliefs with one another, which has the tendency of bringing about unending struggle for each religion to enforce its laws and values. And having this situation at hand would continue to cause unwanted clashes between the adherents of these religions. Many scholars in the past believed that as the forces of modernity continue to spread across the world, religious beliefs and practices would gradually lose social status, relevance, and hold on the lives of their adherents. These forces included the rise of scientific and technological advancement, religious rationalism, and the dynamics of polity and governance. Now, back home in Nigeria, it is hard to even place what form of secularism we practice. However, considering our diverse nature, wouldn't you agree that it would have been more practical for us to adopt the exclusivist form of secularism? I would refer you to episode 7, where I highlighted the developmental differences between nations that are exclusively secular and the extremely religious ones. In a country as diverse as Nigeria, we should be able to have leadership conversations based on the competence and ability of the leader to deliver, rather than their religion or ethnic nationality. While Nigeria might not have a state religion constitutionally, it is, however, very common to find issues of discrimination on tribal and religious basis in many states. Research has it that countries that have not completely separated state affairs from religion have substantially lower levels of political rights and civil liberties than those countries that keep both state and religion at their respective positions. For these and more reasons, secularism should have a broad-based appeal to both religious and non-religious citizens alike. Indeed, while secularism is often presented by its critics as being anti-religious, its application in religious societies like United States of America says otherwise. This is a secular country where you find mosques, churches, and temples in which people are free to worship. Additionally, some secularists do highlight the various ways in which religion can be manipulated negatively to achieve some selfish interests by overzealous individuals. The cases of religious conflicts and ethno-religious violence recorded in Nigeria have their root in the mindset among the politicians and their brainwashed followers who see religion as an instrument at their disposal to get into power. More so, Boko Haram is one of the classical examples of the religiously inspired terrorist organizations that basically originated from the doctrines that prepared the insurgents to see secularism as an enemy to their political agenda. In the end, all they want is to establish a government and get access to power so as to practice their religion from the position of political power and not as ordinary citizens. Is power not clearly the fundamental goal of their struggle? This tendency won't stop as long as citizens continue to see religion and state as two inseparable entities. It is also through a secular government that laws and institutions can checkmate discrimination on the issues of gender, sexual orientation, and reproductive rights, as well as access to contraceptive health care. The proponents of secularism also highlight the role of religion in education systems. For instance, seeking to ban or distort discussions of scientific topics in the classroom, simply because some religious conservatives feel these topics challenge their religious beliefs. One of such topics is evolution. Similarly, using religion to attain absolute power has for long opened the door to child abuse scandals being recorded in some powerful religious organizations. Secularists who are conscious of these excesses that merger of state and religion brings about often maintain that if religion is not separated from government, bad elements would always hide behind religion to commit such cruel acts, knowing that they can use their governmental influence to escape justice. In conclusion, even though secularism, like any other political arrangement, cannot be passed as a perfect system of governance, it still proves itself as an arbiter of transparency in government, as it denies the politicians the opportunity to use religion for their personal desires, while causing division and bloody clashes between adherents of different religions. Though there is still unjustifiable fear of secularism among many citizens, it is obvious that the fear is always founded by the propaganda spread by the beneficiaries of the status quo. Today, as always, I hope I've been able to touch something in our minds. For our widows, congratulations to Madam Henrietta Nkechimo Koma in Lagos and Malema Memunat Isa in the FCT. They are both getting 50,000 naira each from our sponsors. We say thank you for putting a smile on the faces of these widows. Until next month, it's bye for now and Merry Christmas in advance.